Hello my loves, Cyn Doll here coming at you with another video, and in this video we are going to talk about protein overload from rice water. And rice water isn't the only thing that you can get protein overload from, but hair weathering is something that is taking the natural community by storm. And hair weathering is not something that I made up. This is a real term, and remember this: top 5 reasons why I think you're kind of poisoning yourself and hurting yourself by using rice water. Let's get into it. Yeah, in that clip, I was trying to tell you guys all about rice water and what it would do to your hair over time, which is a severe case of hair weathering. And that is what is happening right now within the natural hair community for everyone who loves rice watering. If you're a person who wants to comment below and says, oh,
I use rice water all the time and it feels good.
It can take anywhere from 6 to 15 years to manifest itself. So in this video, we're gonna talk all about it. Let's get into it. Before we get started, make sure you go ahead and subscribe here to my channel. And once you subscribe, be sure to click on that bell notification so you'll be notified every time I post a video. And boom, throughout this video, you'll see different things like it, comment, say something, link in the description box. Listen, if I leave a prompt on the screen, just do it. I'm not asking you for no money. Just like it when it say like it. Comment when it say comment. Okay, boom, let's go. First thing that you need to know is that hair is not a self-healing entity on your body like your skin is. You can cut yourself, and then the amino acids, the proteins, all of that stuff within your skin will begin to regenerate and heal itself. Well, guess what? Your hair is not that way. Think about if you have long nails and then you get a crack in your nail. No matter, even if you put some glue on it, that glue is only a temporary fix, but your nail will not heal itself. So you're gonna have to cut that off and then let it grow back naturally. It is the same thing with your hair shaft. Rice is a very aggressive protein. Now, proteins go into 3 different categories. For category number 1 of protein, you have protein that has very small particles. This protein goes within the hair shaft and then it just kind of sits there. It doesn't put any type of layer or film or anything on the hair shaft whatsoever. Just put stuff in there for a second, it'll make it weak and break. Number two is the protein level that rice water falls into. And on level 2 of protein, this protein has very, very large molecules. And these large molecules that go within the hair shaft, they're very, very heavy. And it also puts a very, very thick coating on top of the hair shaft. So you have it really heavy on the inside, and then you have a thick coating on the outside. Over time, weathering, which we will talk about in a second, sits in, and then the hair shaft gets so heavy that it begins to deteriorate and break. The third level of a protein treatment is the type of protein that has particles that are not too big, they're not too small, they're able to go within the hair shaft, do their job, and then exit when they are supposed to. And then this level of protein also puts a water-soluble version of protein, layer of protein on top of the hair shaft that protects the hair shaft, but when you want to remove it, it is able to be removed easily, fast, swift, fast, in a hurry, boom. But see, listen, you guys were shown in a video clip that I'm going to put up in a split millisecond, okay? Rice water is a live, living entity. When you see it under a microscope, it is alive and it is moving, okay? Going within the hair shaft and expanding. Now, everyone is like,
I use rice water all the time and it feels good.
The reason that it feels good right now is because it is still in its expanding phase and it has not gotten all the way through the weathering process. Look it up yourself. Weathering is the deterioration of the hair fibers, and when the hair fibers begin to deteriorate, the very first thing that goes is the cuticle. The hair's cuticle is made up of dead keratin cells, okay? Dead keratin cells, and your hair is made up of keratin. The cuticle is the dead keratin cell, not those other 2 layers. Only the cuticle layer is dead. Know that. When the cuticle is deteriorated, the cortex is exposed. The cortex is where your melanin lives. This is where all the bonds are. Please think of the cortex and the cuticle layer and all of that stuff as like your skin. like your skin and your bones. And then when we're talking about the bonds in your hair, those are your organs. So your cuticle layer is there to protect your organs, as your skin is on your body to protect your organs. You put a live protein on the hair shaft, so that live protein was able to penetrate the cuticle on high porosity hair, and then it was able to go within and begin messing with the organs. Remember, the cuticle is the skin. That's the skin and bones. But you have let the rice water, that live entity, that live bacteria that you can see right here on the screen, you let it into the cortex of the hair shaft. And because it is inside of the cortex of the hair shaft, it can now continue the weathering process. Hair weathering is not instant. It can take anywhere from 6 months to 25 years, depending on the layers and barriers and products and things of that nature that you are using. Hair weathering is not something that is instant. But if you put a live bacteria that does what this rice water is doing on this screen in your hair, the hair weathering process is very easy because it is a live bacteria that is eating within the hair shaft. When it comes to protein overload that everyone has, protein overload is caused when weathering is taking place. And what are some, signs of weathering? Your hair will be really dry, brittle, it'll break when you touch it, it loses its shine, it's losing its elasticity, it may feel like a rubber band. These are all different things that happen when we do not nurture the hair's cuticle like we're supposed to. YouTube and social media makes you think that your hair has one layer. No, your hair and your body is so complex. Yes, our hair shaft, it looks simple, but it's not. You have skin and bones in your hair, and you have organs. Okay, if you want to fix it a little bit, if it's not too far gone with your protein overload, like if you just started using rice water, please stop. Please, I am begging you. I told you guys to stop using it 2 years ago. Nobody wanted to listen. Look at what's happening now. Just imagine where we'll be at in the next 2 years. You guys, if you've been using it, really try to do a clarifying shampoo. I said a clarifying shampoo. I didn't say nothing about detoxifying clay or ash from a volcano, because that's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother video. I said a clarifying shampoo. And remember, it's not going to be instant. The damage that you've caused is the type of damage that deteriorates the hair shaft over time. So you must take the time to fix it. You're going to make sure that you tackle your hair and figure out whether or not you have a bond problem or whether or not you have a protein problem. And then once you figure that out, through doing a clarifying shampoo and through a clarifying process, then you will be able to put your hands on exactly what the problem is.